Hello and welcome to another episode of Tech I Want. My name is Roffi, and today I've been tasked with reviewing a pen. And yeah, just a pen. But not just any pen, this is the MetMo Pen. You know, pens have been around for centuries. What it is that I can add, or what can I talk about with a pen? How can I do a review about this thing? Well, at MetMo, they claim that this is the most satisfying pen you will ever own. So I thought I'd dive deep into the world of satisfaction and self-gratification and all those other things that are wonderful about fidget toys. And, well, let's have a look. So I went onto the internet and did a YouTube search of satisfaction. First thing that popped up was a song by Benny Benassi, and boy was it a good one. Sexy women doing repetitive manual labor, all to the sound of a robot voice. I was mesmerized. Once I regained consciousness, I decided, okay, wait, let's go further on down and see what else is satisfaction. The next one was a video called, let me think here. It was something like calming video of satisfaction to go to sleep to. Anyway, it had 8,800,000 views, so obviously these guys were onto something. It was basically just, again, manual labor. Close-ups shot in portrait mode from a cell phone of someone cutting down a tree, or cutting a cake, or a machine tool being used. I was starting to see a pattern here. Satisfaction has something to do with repetition, with creation, with manual movement. Okay, I think I had it, but I wanted to check one more place. So I went onto the internet and looked up the definition of what is satisfaction. And basically, to sum it up, it's anything that gives you happiness or a sense of pleasure. So how does a fidget pen give you happiness or pleasure? I really think it has to do with not the active pursuit of happiness or pleasure, but rather the shutting off, the shutting down, the going into the unconscious, rather not even thinking about it at all, and just doing this repetitive motion. And watching two brass nuts slide themselves across a metallic shaft. Not so long ago, there was a time where every single one of the top 10 toys selling on Amazon was some form of fidget toy, something that you can play with in your hands. And while many teachers, parents, and my coworkers alike think that these things are completely irritating, a study does find that they help for those with anxiety or with ADHD, kind of giving them an outlet by playing with these toys. This, of course, gives every gadget freak and hipster alike an excuse to play with their toys out in public. Another study found that oftentimes these fidget toys were not really toys at all. It was just objects that you found at your hand, something like a pen or a paperclip or a USB drive. Something that allowed you to play with it while you needed to focus on something totally different, like while you're at a meeting or studying something or listening to a lecture. Now, while the MetMo Pen does not have an actual thrust device, yes, it is called that, look it up, I'm not just being childish or perverted, it does have a precision engineered dual-threaded shaft as well as two brass nuts that slide across it with a very satisfying high-pitched sound. This is thanks to the precision engineering and machining that's done. There's also a retractable pen inside, which means that you can actually write with this thing as well. So it's got a practical side. And it's a fidget toy. Researchers have found a connection between physical movement and fidgeting and concentration. In fact, while I was writing this essay, I had to get up from my desk and pace the room and walk around every few minutes. And this is attributed to the idea that I need to control my environment, that I need to control my level of stimulation. Because frankly, whenever concentration is required, we may not be in the most optimal scenario. Maybe sitting at our desk doing homework, maybe listening to a lecture on really boring technology. By fidgeting or moving around, I'm controlling my level of stimulation. And in that way, I'm actually making myself be more relaxed, more contemplative, more ready to take in whatever it is that I need to. And all this being done kind of subconsciously. Some more conservative souls might even say that fidgeting is a great way to keep one's mind away from thinking unhealthy thoughts. Yet with all that being said, not all fidget toys are created equally. Some actually are more distracting than others. If you have to really stare at the fidget toy that you're playing with and it takes up a lot of your concentration as you balance it, move it around, or, keep it going, then it's no longer an attention aid, but rather an attention drain. fidgeting and the toys that we use to fidget with vary greatly. And while I was writing this essay, I had the fidget pen, the MetMo Pen, nearby the entire time. And yet I really actually didn't find myself fidgeting with it. This is nothing to say about the fidget pen. What it is I think I went to my comfort zone, which was getting up, going for a walk, grabbing a cup of coffee, pacing, and just staring off into the distance. And actually my favorite thing to do, which is just tweak my mustache, the tips of my mustache, and take my beard and twist tufts of it into punk rock inspired spirals, much to the dismay of my wife, who thinks I end up looking like a homeless man who stuck his finger in an electrical outlet. But hey, we each gotta do our own thing. Whatever works, right? Now in the world of fidgeting, toys, and devices, I came across a website called Very Well Mind, and they had a few criteria for what makes for a really good fidget toy. Number one is quality. Since you're going to be running your fingers through this thing and playing with it, it should be made of fairly high quality materials. Number two is texture and feel. Things should move smoothly. They should feel good. It should not hurt because, again, you're going to be having this thing in your hands and the moving parts should be moving fairly smoothly. Number three is entertainment factor. Is it fun? It should be, because you're going to be playing with this thing a lot. So it should be fun, but at the same time, not too distracting. It should be something that you can do without thinking. As a pen, the MetMo Pen is a really good fidget toy because it's always at hand, meaning that when you need to fidget, this thing is close by, which makes for a good fidget toy. It's also made of high quality materials. We got high quality metals here, both brass and aluminum. There's also multiple textures here, from the brass nuts to the threaded pen shaft itself. There's multiple textures here which are intuitive to play with. And lastly, is it fun? Well, yeah, there's a simpleness to this. And I could see that with time, experience, and skill, someone can get really good at this thing and maybe come up with their own tricks being done by the nimblest of fingers. So, if you're in the market for a fidget toy or a pen and you just need to get some satisfaction, consider the MetMo Pen. Thank you very much for watching. That was the MetMo Pen. If you like what we're doing, remember to like and subscribe, and you can always follow us on our newsletter. Also, we decided to try and change things up a little bit with our content. We're always experimenting, so let us know what you think. Do you like what we're doing? And if you have any suggestions, let us know in the comments down below. We're always paying attention down there. So, until next time, I'm Roffi, and I'm out.